Welcome back to another episode of the Sarasota County Schools In Tune podcast. I'm Chris Parenteau, your host for today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about an incredible and innovative new program that we have at Sarasota County Schools, our CEOs in Schools program. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Harriet Moore, Director of Strategic Engagement for the school district. I'm also joined by Principal Ryan Chase, Principal of Sarasota High School, and Miss Jamie Kahns, the local market executive for Bank of America. This morning, we're joining you from Laurel Oak Country Club, where we just had our kickoff breakfast for this year's version, year 2 of our CEOs in Schools program. Thank you all so much for being here today.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Moore, I'll start with you. Can you talk a little bit about how this CEOs in Schools program began and what the goals of the program are and what it's been like to see it really come to life?
When Superintendent Connor came to the district, and he has such an incredible vision. He's the ultimate visionary. And sat down one day and said, we should do CEOs in Schools. And I said, okay. My next task was to find out what that is. And so I reached out to Hillsborough County, who has an amazing CEOs in Schools program, and talked with the person who was the visionary for that program. And we spent a lot of time discussing what they were doing and learning about pitfalls and snares and things of that nature. It was really just a match made in heaven, really. And the goal is really to bridge those gaps with our education and our business leaders and our business community so that we can really look at how we can impact student success. Everyone's not going to necessarily go to college, but there may be some other areas that they can learn from and build from, entrepreneurship and things like that. And just really bringing those leaders together, because our principals are CEOs in and of themselves. And so bringing those levels of leaders together to understand what it's like in the business community and what it's like in the school community and how similar those things are and how they can really be thought partners one for another. So just really excited about that and how we could just continue to build those connections for our staff and our students.
Jamie and Ryan, this one is for both of you. What have your thoughts been on the program and the partnership that it has brought between your organization and ours?
I'm so excited about this program. When I saw it, I've been a big believer in trying to really fill that gap of, we have the companies, the outside world. I've sit on several boards where like, we need these students to come to us. And really that's not the case. We as business community need to go to the schools and see what's happening. And I'll tell you, it is, like Harriet said, it is just like a business, the individual businesses. And when you think about that gap in workforce development of what's happening behind the schools, it is eye-opening. The kids are absolutely fabulous. I think about the pressures of being just so different, even just with some of the questions I had with AI and technology and how all the schools are navigating that as we're navigating that in our business world and companies. So I was so excited to join the program.
I think like Jamie said, this program really is about bridging our two worlds. I think we often think of schools and businesses as like parallel worlds. And this has given us an opportunity for CEOs and for principals to come together and see how we operate. For CEOs to see the pace and the heart and the dedication it takes to run a school, and for principals to really see how CEOs build systems and culture and how, at the end of the day, we have the same goals. We believe in people, we have vision, and we have purpose. And through those things, we build successful either businesses or schools. But at the end of the day, we have the same goals. And I think that was a really meaningful part that came out for me.
Jamie, what surprised you the most about spending time in the school as opposed to leading in the corporate world?
I guess and really looking at it as a business of just the strategic plan. And I love what Ryan just said about culture, because each school does have a different culture. I would argue this program, as great as it is, the last time I did this was a year ago, and I'm like, we need to do this every month. I want to get into all the schools. I want to see the differences and see those gaps, and whether it's gaps in funding or access or for different opportunities, knowing that each school is so different. But I would just kind of echo what Ryan says on the culture piece. I think I was just really surprised. And I was like, wow, this is a business. And I think it was our superintendent that said that principals really are the mayors of their school. They're all small cities, and they're building beautiful opportunities, not just with the students, but really staying connected to the parents. I think that's been very challenging to hear the different challenges of not just trying to impact the students, but really trying to reach the parents and keep everyone engaged.
Ryan, having been able to spend time engaging with and getting to know corporate CEOs, what leadership qualities do you see in that side of being a CEO that you think translate really well into being essentially the CEO of a school as principal?
Business leaders are really transparent. When I was working with my CEO, what was clear to me was the intentionality that they take in the work that they do. That's something that I really value in the work that I do as well. Great schools don't exist by accident, and neither do great businesses. You know, it takes intentional steps. You have to be clear in the work that you do. The business leader I worked with was great in explaining to me exactly what they wanted to accomplish and how they were going to do it. Not today, not tomorrow, but next year and the year after, because that vision is a clear step in the right direction. And for me, that's what I want to accomplish. I don't want a good school day. I want a good school week and month and year and several years from now, because that's how you build capacity within this community, right? And future business leaders in our community. So I think that those qualities that CEOs show in transparency, in vision, in clarity really translate great to a school, because we are, setting that vision, and those qualities help to make sure our vision is implemented long term.
Dr. Moore, as we've made it through year one and now into year two of this program, what was the feedback that you received as we got through that first year and the excitement from folks about entering year two and doing this again?
I think when we started year one, there was curiosity from our business leaders and curiosity from our principals. What are we supposed to do with this, and how does this work? So we did provide some examples and some suggestions, but really for them to work it out together. And they did, because good leaders do that. They begin to talk, they become thought partners, and they begin to navigate whatever it is that it's in front of them. I was so pleasantly surprised that when I sent out my request, my invite for this year, everyone was eager to participate again, because they probably thought about it and said, you know what, if I get a chance to go back in there, like Jamie was saying, I want to do this, or I want to get involved with this, or I was thinking about something I can do differently, and I wonder if they've tried this area, you know what I mean? So it is so exciting, and everyone this morning the room was a buzz with people talking and connecting, and that connecting is what we want to see, that building those relationships, seeing people who were seeing folks they were with last time and being able to talk with them.
From your perspective, a program like this really provides an opportunity for partnerships that maybe neither party had even considered exploring previously.
There are some other things that they may not have thought about that this person could bring to the table, not only for those students, but for staff, additional kinds of businesses and what that could look like, and how do you build an entrepreneurship program within that environment. What a difference, what a change maker that could be for that particular school.
Jamie, were there any moments throughout this process that really left a lasting impression on you as a corporate business leader?
I've always thought of how do we bring back kindness in schools? And I felt at the school I went to that it was like, wow, they're teaching kindness, the social skills and everything. They're not just through book, tablet, or whatever instrument they're using to learn, but really just appreciated the opportunity to have some conversations with the students as well. And I was like, handshakes, eye contact, even at the younger ages. I went to an elementary school, and just the confidence that some of these students are having is just really exciting, especially if you're not at schools, it's easy maybe to think, every student is just texting or have their head down in different social media or whatever it may be. And these students are brilliant, and I love that I got to see it firsthand with the kids working together and helping each other.
Ryan, were there any moments where you thought to yourself, gosh, I wish more business leaders and CEOs could experience what we do in schools every single day?
Oh, absolutely. Running a school is a challenge, right? But it's probably the greatest challenge that anyone could ever face. It is rewarding, it is meaningful, and it's absolutely the most fun too. But I think that for people to see the work day to day is a different sort of experience. When people see schools and they see them operate, typically what they experience is whatever they read about, and there's usually the stories aren't all great, and I think that what's important for people to see is what it really takes to run a school the empathy, the care, the dedication, the love, the compassion, and for our CEOs to come in and see that and realize that like the work that they're doing really mirrors the work we're doing, just in different capacities sometimes.
This one's for all of you. If you could describe your CEOs in Schools experience in one word, what would that word be and why?
I'll go first. First word I thought of was collaboration. And, in thinking of getting anything done in the world, if you don't collaborate or talk to each other and really see what's going on, looking at really truly what are the gaps and how we can work together to solve for problems. Collaboration is definitely the word I was thinking.
My word would be future. I'm really looking at the future of what this could bring for our community, for our students, and for our staff. Future.
Mine's perspective. I think that that's what this program provides, is that although our settings are different, our hopes and our goals for the future are the same. And I think together we were able to see that, as a CEO and a principal.
Jamie, can you talk about how this program really affords you as a CEO an opportunity to inform students about your work and potentially bring in future interns or future employees?
Absolutely. It's been very exciting to work with the schools. I think it was eye-opening to see how many different schools will have career fairs that I didn't even know about to come in and say, hey, this is what we're doing at Bank of America, the different pathways, people not realizing that, hey, we can hire people right out of high school and then we have opportunities to pay for college. And I think, too, the gap with the financial education world, so we've gotten to be able to go back into the schools and teach our Better Money Habits program, which is a absolutely amazing complimentary online financial education tool and of course the kids love it because there's quick hit videos, so you're not reading everything and it's easier to put the budget plans together because it's all at your fingertips on your phone. But yes, being able to go back into the schools and make that impact and just again fill the gap that for me, example, I'm not a true banker. What I do every day I think was eye-opening. They're like, oh, you can do HR, you can do technology and everything through the different companies, and just being able to have those conversations with the students for them to think about different companies that they wouldn't have thought of before.
And Ryan, we talk about college and career ready as students leave our high schools after 12th grade. How does this program provide just another opportunity to allow students to see what opportunities are out there that they may not have been aware of?
Yeah, they're great partnerships in our community, and a lot of our students currently are employed, in our community already. And so my CEO this year works for Gecko's Hospitality Group, and I'm a patron of Gecko's myself. My kids love Gecko's. I love Gecko's. And so often when I go there are several Sarasota high school students that are working at Gecko's. Probably from other high schools as well that I probably don't know, but they employ a lot of our students. And the positive, too, is those tie into a lot of our career and technical education programs. You think about our culinary program, our entrepreneurship programs that we have. Students at Gecko's or any other restaurant as well, they could be earning their ServSafe certifications, which then help us at our school level as well. So there's a lot of partnership there that not only benefit the student in their employment, but they also benefit us at the school level for things like high school acceleration, even credits. Some students can earn credits through getting that certification. And so, these opportunities for us to connect in the business world for people with CEOs that are, tied into these career and technical fields as well are really going to help us advance and be able to help our students way more than just, it being an opportunity for us to sit down and talk, right? We have a robust program, and I do feel like, just talking this morning with Fiona from Gecko's, she said, oh, yeah, no, we employ a lot of your students. And I was just there last weekend and saw one of our alum from Sarasota High. And so it's not just our current students, it's our former students, it's our alum, it's our graduates, it's parents. And so, this is tied in way more than just, our current opportunities. And so it's a great partnership that I'm excited that I get to be a part of this year.
Dr. Moore, you just mentioned your word was future and where this can go in the future. If more CEOs want to get involved in this, how can they?
Well, they can email me at harriet.moore@sarasotacountyschools.net, or they can call 941-927-9000, extension 888-311-5154. I'm always available and always looking for people to come into our schools, because in the strategic engagement department, we also have our volunteer and community involvement office. So we can, if they're not in the CEO program this year, they can certainly begin to come in through our volunteer process. So we're always looking and welcoming folks to come in and work with our schools.
Thank you all again so much for being a part of this and this great conversation about this program. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it expands from here. I also want to thank the Education Foundation of Sarasota County, the Sarasota Chamber of Commerce, the Venice Chamber of Commerce, Northport Chamber of Commerce, and Inglewood Chamber of Commerce for their partnerships in making this program happen. And if you'd like to learn more about our CEOs in Schools program, be sure to check out the November edition of the In Touch community newsletter, which you will receive on November 1st. Thank you all so much for listening, and we hope you'll join us for the next episode of the Sarasota County Schools In Tune podcast.